Hi everybody, it's your friendly neighborhood hanger hobbit here, and we're going to start this video a little differently. See that number right there? That's the spark counter. See, I got asked why I wouldn't recommend certain birds like the Hitler Lala and the Hitler Pest in the sale. You're going to see why. Guess what? The guns are so dependent on ping with these birds. Yeah, I didn't want anybody spending the money without testing out to see how their ping worked. Because look at this. I smack 'em and I smack 'em and I smack 'em and I smack 'em. And guess what? Yep, the guns don't do diddly squat. And this is the stealth belts, the best belts this thing has. I got told try the universals. Yeah, guess what? Universals, ground targets, even the defaults, none of them work any better than this. This plane is 100% dependent on ping. If your ping gets above about 80, 85 milliseconds, your guns just quit working. You might as well just be throwing bad language in vodka bottles. And believe me, there's nothing more frustrating. Look at this, even when I get a crit, it's not a kill. Nope. Gotta come back, and there's another spark. Finally. Look at that. My entire ammo load is gone. I'm about to get slaughtered by the guy who I'd already hit 3 bloody times. Friggin' ticked me off. So, what am I going to do? Well, this is the very next match, so I decided, you know what? Screw this. Terminator match. Yeah, I'm not going to care. Not going to give a slightest bit of a care. Especially when I looked and checked and 90% of my guys are carrying bombs. I don't care. I'm going to just charge in here and shoot at everything that comes in my path. And hopefully I'll get a few kills out of it. Now this is the universal belt. It did work a little better on certain birds, but other birds, it was no different. Like this biplane, but anything can kill a biplane. Yeah, I just needed to get that out of my way anyway. I ain't leaving anything behind me, biplane or not. And spargadiddy spark spark. Spargadiddy spark spark. And spargadiddy spark spark. More spargadiddy spark spark. Yeah. That stupid bomber ends up causing my death because I end up having to dodge him so much. Finally, frickin' thank you. I end up having to dodge him so much that the frickin' hurricane gets a free shot. Which, if my guns would have frickin' worked the first or the second or the third bloody time, wouldn't be an issue. And I don't see this problem on Freedom Cows. I don't see this problem on MG151s or MGFFMs. Nope. Only see this problem with Shivaks and Sparkspanos. Come here, come here. And look at that. Look at how many rounds are just pounding into that dude. He ain't dead. In fact, he's coming around to shoot me with his rear guns. Yeah, that's how little damage my crit did with this freaking bird. This is why I cannot... Thank you. Would you just die already? Good Lord. And as you notice, my team's dead. Last one's about to go down any second. There he went. Yeah, so I'm hosed. I got the entire friggin' team. I got a plane who doesn't work. I don't even care about that wingtip. I already know I'm dead. And the plane flies good. The plane handles great. It's the guns. The frickin' guns will make you want to pull your bloody hair out. Come here. Oh, thank you. By the way, that wasn't really me that killed this guy, because I watched the replay later, and he was already crippled. I didn't know it. He tried to turn around while he was on fire, and his wing was already damaged, and he put it in. So I don't even really deserve that kill. Yep, I'm number one on a completely worthless team with a completely worthless bird. And it didn't used to be like this, boys and girls. Before the great nerf, and they put in these stupid FIT belts, this plane could hang with the 151s. It could hang with the frickin' Freedom Cows. No problem. This is what makes me so sad. Once upon a time, the LA5 and LA7 were holy terrors. They were great birds. Oh. And look at that. Of course, I get completely gangbanged. Because there's nothing I can do. I have a plane that is pretty much combat ineffective. Not because of any fault of my own, but because of the stupid ping. If your ping gets above about 80 milliseconds on any of the Sparkspanos or the Shivaks, guess what? You're getting this. You're going to wail on birds and wail on birds and wail on birds, and you only get 320 rounds. That's what kills you. If this was something where you had 800 rounds, 900 rounds, I wouldn't care. As you can see, I hadn't even got this completely spaded yet. But I hate being negative. So I decided to think about it, and what can you do if you're in a bird that you know is going to be combat ineffective? That you think there's a good chance you're going to get hosed, just completely hosed by the matchmaker. And I got to thank old Mags TV for this one, because his subscribers made him take out those worthless early yak jets, you know, the ones that only get 120 rounds and they're slower than the props. Yeah, I'm going to rip off your idea, Mag, so thanks a lot. Oh, but you come here, Mr. Zero. And you notice, guns worked. Look at my ping. My ping dropped below 90. Ping drops, guns work. Ping climbs, guns don't. But anyway, I'm going to steal Mag's idea. He was in that jet. He knew it was combat ineffective, but he had other guys on his team that weren't combat ineffective. See what's behind me? I got a Yak 9 and a P39K. Those are good birds. Yak 9's got that 12.7. P39's got Freedom Cows. So what I need to do is be a support fighter. I'm going to do the same trick Mags did. I'm going to do booms and baits. I'm going to try to keep the enemy suppressed because they don't know I'm combat ineffective right now. They don't know whether I kill them or not. It's completely dependent on this stupid ping which keeps bouncing up and down and I have no bloody control over. So all I can do is try to keep them down and try to set up good baits so the planes that actually work can get some work done. It's frustrating, but it's the only way sometimes that you can get a win. And that's what I'm about. It doesn't matter if I get 5 kills if I'm the winner of the losing team. What's the point? Oh, but you come here. You're trying to climb up here? I don't think so. Get a crit. Doesn't affect him other than some slight smoke. But watch what I'm doing. I'm not diving. I'm not doing funky jinks. I'm just barely tilting it up, trying to be tasty. Come on. That's it. You chase me. Don't look at that Yak 9. Bye. That's what you got to do if you're in a plane that's combat ineffective. Remember, the enemy's not going to know you're combat ineffective. So you just need to help them out as much as you can. Just because your guns aren't working that hot today, don't mean that you still can't be a help to your team. Oh, my ping's dropping down, so guess what? You come here now before my ping climbs. Thank you. Bloody appreciate it. And see, that's all it takes. It takes just a couple of guys that will actually work as a team. And you see, I'm complimenting them in the chat. Always be sure to compliment when you have teammates that actually do what they're supposed to freaking do. Because so many times in this game, we get whole teams that are nothing but complete crap that don't care about anybody but themselves. So be sure to let your team know when they do a good job. It makes them feel better, and hey, maybe next time they'll freaking do it again. Always try to encourage good behavior and discourage bad behavior, boys and girls, because the last thing we need is more toxic players. Now I'm going to speed this up for a bit because it takes me in the P39 a while to get over here to where this other guy is. Because he asked for me to back him up because the poor Yak 9 with that little hit on he took in that 0 has pretty much hosed himself. And yes, I used a blind hut, but the P39 asked for it because this guy seems to be trying to run back to the runway. And the last thing we need, with only 2 guys left that are in fighters, is to have the last guy start runway camping. Yeah, that wouldn't be so hot. So again, I can't trust these guns. I don't know if my ping is going to be in a good shape or if it's going to be in a bad shape by the time I get there. So what can I do? My main job is not to be the one that takes him down, but to back up my P39. Because I know his guns work. I've had Freedom Cows with pings as high as 170 just slaughter. Freedom Cows work. They do damage. So yeah, main thing I'm going to do is try to keep the 0 focused on me. If I kill him, fine. If I don't kill him, he still needs to be not looking at the P39. Because I need that P39 alive. Oh, yeah. Lag's not too good with the whole turny-wurny. But see, I'm just barely climbing, and I'm just putting a little bit of wiggle in it, just enough to keep him from really pounding me with the guns. And thank you, P39. Good job, buddy. I do appreciate that. It's so nice when you get a decent teammate, one that you're not having to sit there and constantly tell in chat, you know, you need to do this, I'm trying to do that. He saw I was setting up a bait. He saw the enemy was focused on me, and he came in there and he executed it. Perfect. Mwah. So love when they do that. Now in just a second, I'm going to speed up time again, because the last enemy's on the far side of the map. And this is going to highlight another issue we have in this game. The stupid, worthless AAA firing nuke rounds. Because this guy was a completely good sport. He was the last guy on the team. He was just there to farm. He didn't want to be an ass and stretch the thing out for 40 minutes. So he was nice enough to tell us in the chat, hey, you know what? I'm over here getting AAA at this coordinates. Here you go. Now my P39 was about bingo fuel, so he told me, you know what? You go over there, let the guy grab a few AAA, and then finish it. You still got rounds left, you still got gas left. But literally, by the time I get this thing down, because the dive speed, oh Lord, the dive speed on this thing is bloody terrible. Just god-awful. You really have to watch ripping this thing. I mean, you'd think this thing was made out of paper. But by the time I get it down here, he ends up getting nuked by the worthless AAA you're supposed to farm for RP in the middle of the map. Gaijin, it's supposed to be for farming. It's not supposed to be nuking players out of the sky. Come on, surely there's some way that you can say runway AAA equals good, middle of the map crap AAA equals bad in your game code. Seriously, you shouldn't have players trying to get a little RP get completely schnockered by the stuff they're supposed to be shooting for the freaking RP. Give me a dang break. Third place in an ineffective bird? I'll take it. You know what? I'll be happy to take it. Because, good Lord, is these guns frustrating. As you can see, trying to finish the unlock since Gaijin gave me this stupid talisman. This is one of those where the talisman really pisses me off. Now, let me tell you a little bit about this bird. The LA5 is a LAG-3 with an SU-2 nose stuck on it. Yeah, that's really all it is. See, Lavochkin had his testicles to the wall because the LAG-3 got quickly the reputation of being the guaranteed varnished coffin. And anybody who knows Russian history knows Stalin didn't like it when you goofed up. Yeah, go to Gulag is not just a meme when it came to Stalin. So his butt set out in a freezing Russian winter in December in a little bitty unheated shed and took the nose off an SU-2 which was being phased out and bolted that sucker to the LAG-3 because they didn't have any inline engines available at the time to give the LAG any more horse, and the engine they had for the LAG-3, it was a death trap. The poor thing just could not build up enough speed for squat. So he found out the SU-2s were going to be phased out for the IL-2s, which means they had a whole buttload of them. And he said, well, wait a minute. SU-2 has a radial, whereas my LAG-3 has an inline, but that SU-2 motor cranks out more horse. If I can get that SU-2 motor on my LAG-3, you might actually have a plane worth having, and my butt won't be sitting in the gulag. And it turned out to be a smart move, because, yeah, it saved his bacon. By doing this one little trick, he went from 1,250 horsepower to over 1,800 horsepower. Yeah, not a small difference. Ended up giving him nearly 60 miles an hour in top end. Yeah, needless to say, all those people flying the guaranteed varnished coffin was dang happy that Lavochkin did it. They ended up cranking out nearly 10,000 of the LA5s. Yeah. And as a bonus, this plane didn't need the entire factory retooled, because it wasn't like a new plane. They already had a factory for the SU-2. They already had a factory for the LAG-3. All they had to do was put them together. That was it. Nothing fancy. So needless to say, probably made Stalin really happy, which means he no go to Gulag, which made Lavochkin really happy. By the way, you are going to see more frickin' Corsairs in this match than you would if we were facing the Americans, because this was during the sale on the Japanese. Yeah. So needless to say, we got some serious Japsair spam. Oh, wish I was flying the Japsair. That's a really good plane. Come on, you come here. Thank you. And is the fire going to go out? What do you think? Of course the fire's going to go out. This is War Thunder. The fire always goes out unless it's on you. Yeah. Gee, thanks, Gaijin. Now, as you can see, my ping's not bad with this one. Really not. The guns are still iffy. They're just not as iffy. For those of you that didn't fly back in the old days, oh, the old belts, the old ground target belts for the Russians, they were so good. Oh, there's more Japsairs. Come here. You come here now, Mr. Japsair. I know you want to play with your new toy, but guess what? Can't get the guns on it. Come on around. Yeah, I'm afraid I'm a little better at turny-worny than you are. Japsairs are good, but turn fighters are not. By the way, the one shooting at me is the one I set on fire earlier. Shows you how much damage that fire did. Great. As I was saying though, the old Russian armored target belts, oh Lord, they were a little slice of heaven. They really were. I mean, if you took anything out with them, you had no problem going toe-to-toe with the MG151. If I remember correctly, the belt was HEF, HEF, HEFI, API. And man, did those work. Oh, come here. And more sparking. Gee, Gaijin, have I told you how much I like your new 30 rounds? Yeah, because guess what? Really don't. Good Lord, you can't tell me the Russians were flying this thing. Thank you. That one actually crashed. Oh, yay. You notice I didn't kill them. They freaking crashed by overcooking their freaking turns. Gaijin, you cannot tell me the Russians on the Eastern Front, with as many freaking slaughters as they did, had this many issues with their guns. You can't. I'll refuse to believe that. Your FIT rounds do not work. Fix it. Fix the bloody guns. Either go back to the old belts, which I don't care if they're historical or not. Put back in the old belts that worked, or fix your ping issue so that the FITs work no matter what the ping is. Oh, I see somebody in the dark. Oh, Italian jobby. Yeah, you come here. Put enough rounds into it, and eventually you will kill something. Thank you. Good grief. As I was saying, this thing is the most freaking ping nuts. I went ahead and cut to the end because, frankly, the last two guys go hide in the corner of the map, and we just let the IL-2 finish the job. Because, I mean, what was the point? They were just going to hide up there. Neither of us had a freaking blind hunt. Whatever. Don't care. Got first place? Don't care. What do I think of this bird? If you got a ping below 50 milliseconds every single time you play, it's fine. Well, no, it's not even fine then. It's okay. Not great, okay. If your ping fluctuates at all, be ready to pull your frickin' hair out. Handles great. Not good in a dive. Not the best turner, but it handles good. It's the guns. Ugh. Fly something that has a backup gun. 12.7, 7.62, don't care what. Well, be sure to like and share, and I hope to see you up there in the clouds. Have a good one, y'all.